The vision of the Hastings Riverfront revitalization started over 15 years ago when the city formed a committee of community and business leaders to seek a vision on how to use our riverfront better. The idea of a pavilion and amphitheater was incorporated into the plan, but unfortunately was put on a shelf due to the Great Recession. That was until the Hastings Area Rotary Club stepped up to the plate with the idea of the Rotary Pavilion. Our small club of about 30 Rotarians spent over 3 years raising $560,000 for this pavilion. Thank you. We worked with a local architect and the city to find a design that was not only aesthetically pleasing, but was also able to make sure that it would not get damaged during high water events. Though this was the largest endeavor our club has ever focused on in our history, we do have a long history of supporting water, rivers, and recreation in the city of Hastings. We started the Let's Go Fishing group, which offers fishing and boating experiences to local seniors, veterans, and disabled in our community. We helped establish and constructed parts of the riverfront greenway system, and most recently started Cycling Without Age, which is the tri-shop bikes that you've seen around, and there are tours to go and visit if you want to take a little trip down our riverfront path and see what we have there. Those bikes are able to go for individuals who are unable to bike anymore, and pilots, once again, are available after the program. Lastly, one of our big fundraisers is our Riverfront music festival called Rivertown Live, which is September 11th, and we really, if you like good music and you liked enjoying our Riverfront experience, we hope you'll have the opportunity to come and experience this. It's one of our Concert for a Cause, and it's a great opportunity to go and do service in our community and listen to good music. So finally, thank you again to the district for going in and choosing Hastings. We hope you have a wonderful time and enjoy the rest of your day. Yes. Thank you. And now I will ask you to rise for the presentation of the colors. Now please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now it is my pleasure to present and introduce Ed Merrick's best friend and wife, Sue, who will do the reflection. Sue?
Thank you, Pat. This reflection is from the Virtuous Project, and a big thank you to George Wickstrom and the Faribault Rotary Club for introducing this to the district. Reverence. Reverence is living with an awareness that we are always in the presence of the Creator and that all life is precious. When we practice reverence, we open ourselves to experience faith, love, and deep respect for the mysteries and wonders of life. We take time in solitude and silence each day to contemplate, to pray, and reflect. We seek to discern the deeper meaning of our lives. The beauty of nature restores our souls. We are respectful stewards of the earth. We treasure all life. And now, from around the district, the Rotary four-way test.
No mic?
Yes, we're going to ask you to introduce our mayor-elect because we, yes.
Okay. Now it is my pleasure to introduce to you the acting mayor, Lori Brox of Hastings. Lori?
Good morning. Thank you for being here. As she said, I'm Lori Brox, and I'm a member of the City Council of Hastings. And on behalf of the mayor, Mary Fassbender, and the entire City Council, I want to welcome you to Hastings. Thank you for being here. We ordered a sunshiny, beautiful day on the river so you could enjoy it. So I hope you will enjoy it. Thank you for being here. I know this group of people is a group of people who are community-minded, and I want to echo some of what Mike Slavic said about this pavilion and what it's meant to the city of Hastings. We just had a Memorial Day service this past Monday honoring members of the service who had fallen in combat. And last night we had an event where we had an improv show from our Black Dirt Theater, a local theater group. They did a couple shows down here. Today you're here. We have a whole summer of music and performances planned, and all of those things are doing something to connect people together from Hastings. This past year has been a year of disconnection, where we haven't been as connected as we want to be. So I'm really thankful for this tool, this pavilion that we have to reconnect people in our community, to build new relationships and reestablish old relationships. And I just want to say that I'm deeply grateful for Rotary, all they've done for the city of Hastings and across the region. I know you're from all over from Minnesota, but you're doing similar projects and acts of service and kindness all over the state. We need more of us. So we're just very grateful that you're here. Thank you. We hope you enjoy the day. If you have a chance to walk downtown Hastings, we've made an incredible investment in our downtown area. The pavilion was part of it, but we have a lot of local restaurants that you won't find anywhere else and some beautiful patio areas. And so we hope you enjoy Hastings and have a chance to walk around. If you have a chance to walk down this path that goes all the way down the riverfront, and it's beautiful. So enjoy your time in Hastings, and hopefully we'll give you a really good reason to come back. Thank you for being here. We're grateful for you.
Thank you, Acting Mayor Brock. Hello, my name is Dale Quigley, and I'm serving as your district governor nominee. I'm just going to go a little tiny bit off script. Sorry. But anyway, before I introduce our next speaker, I would like us to give a round of applause to somebody who has led us through what I would consider a very difficult year for the world, but Rotary as well, and he's just done a fantastic job. So one round of applause for Ed Merrick before we continue on. Okay. I have the honor to introduce our Rotary keynote speaker, Ian Reesley, for this conference. Ed had the opportunity to meet Ian in November of 2019 when he visited the district to support our Rotary Foundation celebration. When Ian served as Rotary International President in 2017-2018, he challenged every Rotarian to plant a tree. The environment has been and will remain very important to him going forward. A member since 1978, Ian Reesley has served Rotary as treasurer, director, trustee, Rotary International Board Executive Committee member, task force member, committee member, and chair, and district governor. He is also a former member of the Australian Polio Eradication Private Sector Campaign and a recipient of the Rotary Foundation Service Award for a Polio-Free World. He and his wife, Juliet, are multiple Paul Harris Fellows, major donors, and Bequest Society members. Here is Ian.
On Facebook. Good afternoon, good evening, Governor Ed, Rotarians of District 5960 in the deep north. Let me start by saying to Ed how envious I am of all of the lovely skiing trails that you showed on Facebook in your last northern winter. Just spectacular, and I'm jealous, well, envious. And let me also wish everyone a happy World Environment Day. It's great to have a day that recognises the importance of the environment, but of course, it's vital we consider the environment in what we do every day, not just on the 5th of June. And this is what Ed's asked me to talk to you about today. But first, I want to explain that I'm a long-term environmentalist. Indeed, I embrace being called a greenie, which some others may consider an insult, but I don't. But I'm also not a radical extremist in, well, anything really, and acknowledge that a balance in society is necessary. However, until recent times, care for the environment has been badly neglected, and the balance to which I refer has been missing. But the world's changing, and now the environmental impact of major proposals is an important part of any plan, not just an afterthought. We must recognise that all societies need to continuously be aware of the requirement for economic activity, employment, and so on, hence the balance to which I referred. And let me say that I believe attention to the environment is a cause whose time has come. A few weeks ago, I spoke to a multi-district conference in Nigeria, where they're also very passionate about environmental issues. They gave their conference the lovely title of Getting Everybody Involved to Protect Our Earth. And surely that's exactly what we should all be doing. And Rotary can lead the way. And naturally, I'm delighted that Rotary is getting on board in a big way by adding a 7th area of focus come 1st of July next, being the environment. And I know that most Rotarians, including Governor Ed, share my enthusiasm. Now, this has taken a while to come about. In fact, much too long. Paulo Costa of Brazil was a real pioneer and a bit of a revolutionary when he was president of Rotary International in 1990-91 and had preserved planet Earth as one of his projects. And it was a great success. But then nothing much happened for the environment in a formal sense in Rotary for the next 25 years or so. An exception was the creation of SRAG, that's what we need in Rotary, another acronym, the Environmental Sustainability Rotary Action Group, and you can read all about them on their website, which I encourage you to do. Now, you know that I was keen to encourage project activity in support of the environment in the great Rotary year of 2017-18, and the response from Rotarians right around the world to my tree planting challenge was outstanding. After all, who doesn't like trees? And my successor as president, Barry Rassin from the Bahamas, also featured care for the environment in his programs, with particular concern about rising sea levels. So there was some momentum, which was endorsed by Mark Maloney when he was president. So finally, we have a shift in attitude amongst Rotary leadership at all levels. And now, almost all leaders within Rotary International make mention of the importance of Rotary working to improve the environment. As I said, its time has come. So, how did the new area of focus come about? Well, the Foundation trustees, led by Ravi Ravindran, decided in 2019 to include the environment in our areas of focus for project work. We knew that some 18 million or so in global grants supporting the environment had taken place, but they were all in one of the existing areas of focus, mostly water, sanitation, and hygiene. So once having decided to incorporate the environment into our project activity, the trustees were unsure how to do this. So when in doubt in Rotary, you form a committee, or in this case, a task force. It comprised 4 trustees of the Rotary Foundation, 1 Rotary International director, and 1 Rotaractor, and I was chair. And we met several times, took submissions from a number of experts, both from inside Rotary and from academia, and we had robust discussions, very robust discussions. And finally, all members of the task force and all of our Rotary International staff supporting us concluded that we should recommend a new area of focus, the 7th, to encourage project work for the environment. But before we could put this to the trustees and then to the board of directors for ratification, we needed to create the policy statement, because all areas of focus have such a document, which outlines what activities will be eligible for support and what will not. So we had more robust discussion, this time virtually, which resulted in a 3-page document available from the RI website, which outlines these things. So in June last year, the trustees and then the Rotary International Board of Directors unanimously, and I was keen for them to show in the minutes that it was unanimous, they unanimously agreed to our proposal. So therefore, from the 1st of July next, our Rotary Foundation will be accepting grant requests for projects working on the environment. This is an historic decision for Rotary. But in reality, this is just Rotary catching up with the wishes of its members. It's widely believed that younger people care more about the environment than their parents. And after all, aren't younger people one of our target areas for Rotary membership? But similarly, environmental project activity just may be the thing that keeps younger Rotarians, or for that matter, any Rotarians, as members. So it could help with membership retention. But let me emphasize that there are lots of, shall I say, more mature people, including an old greenie like me, who believe that it is our responsibility to set an example and to leave the world in better shape for those who come after us. As the saying goes, which I believe is attributed to North American Indians, we don't inherit the world from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children. Of course, having a new area of focus means that we're certain to have more global grant requests from Rotary districts, excuse me, and the money required to meet these grants does not grow on trees, if you'll excuse the mixed metaphor. So that's why it's vital that we all maintain and even increase contributions to our Rotary Foundation. And I'm relying on all Rotarians who believe in this cause to spread the word that our foundation, our Rotary Foundation, does wonderful work and needs and deserves our support. So, ladies and gentlemen, project work on the environment in Rotary is an idea, I say again, whose time has come. I remember the first of the Rotary presidential conferences I had in 2018. It was in Vancouver on the subject of the environment and peace. And one of the keynote speakers was David Suzuki, well-known environmentalist. And to emphasize the urgency of action on the environment, he gave us an analogy. He said, we're in a giant car heading for a brick wall, and people are arguing over where they should sit. Folks, this is an exciting new area of focus for Rotary and an opportunity for us to continue to be part of Rotary making a difference. I wish you good luck with your project work on the environment, because the world and its people are looking to us for leadership, and they'll thank you for your efforts. And I thank Governor Ed for the invitation to be with you today. Good luck.
Thank you so much, Ian, for being with us here today. We're holding our conference of clubs here on the banks of the Mississippi River because of an opportunity we learned of with the Mississippi River Cities and Towns Initiative and their plastic pollution pilot program. We've invited Jennifer Wendt, the coordinator for the pilot program with the, here's the acronym, MRCTI, to share a bit about the organization and this very important program. Here's Jennifer, thank you.
Hello, everybody, and thank you, Ed, for having me today. I'm here to talk about the Mississippi River Plastic Pollution Initiative. I am Jenny Wendt. I work with MRCTI, the Mississippi River Cities and Towns Initiative, and I am the Plastic Waste Reduction Campaign Manager. And as you can see here, this is our image our infographic that we use for this project, and we really would like people to understand the watershed and how much land contributes to litter in the Mississippi River. So as you can see in this infographic, whether you're in Montana or Ohio, because the river is so interconnected, a plastic bottle on the ground in any area that you see on the upper part of this hourglass can easily make its way through storm drains and tributaries to the Mississippi River, which of course leads to the Gulf and out to the ocean. A little bit about Mississippi River Cities and Towns Initiative. It is an association of United States mayors. It is compiled of about 100 mayors along the Mississippi. MRCTI was created in 2012 to have a common voice for the river. Some of the cities are bigger, like St. Paul, Minneapolis, and Memphis, St. Louis, New Orleans, but there are some cities that are very small with only 200 people. So it was to really cover these 5 topics you see on the left hand of the screen, to keep that river one voice and to be able to really push some initiatives that are needed for the watershed. In 2018, the mayors of the Mississippi River and with state legislators and businesses made a commitment to reduce plastic waste in the Mississippi River. In 2018, that is also when MRCTI joined forces with the United Nations Environment Program, University of Georgia, and National Geographic Society to create this Mississippi River Plastic Pollution Initiative, because we know that plastic pollution, as it says, up to 80% of plastic originates from land-based sources, and that the Mississippi River drains 40% of the continental US. That's 31 states and 2 Canadian provinces that drain to the Mississippi River and out to the Gulf and the ocean. So we decided to work with the University of Georgia using the Marine Debris Tracker to collect data to find out what was there, to get a baseline of what pollution we are finding, what plastic pollution we are finding along the river. So we created this pilot project and selected 3 cities that represent the upper, middle, and lower Mississippi River: St. Paul, Minnesota, St. Louis, Missouri, and Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and worked with the cities of the city government as well as organizations within these cities. We were able to partner with over 80 organizations within these 3 cities and beyond, including other areas along the Mississippi River that joined the initiative with us. This was done using the Marine Debris Tracker, as I said before, and the flyer on the left, you can see how the areas were selected. So we got folks out collecting data through cleanup events, and then also just selecting sample areas to determine where litter was and where it was not using the app, because it tracks the GPS location, and then you can enter in the data and the items that you're finding and how many on the app. So the main portion of this project was between April 1st and April 25th. Those were our target beginning and end dates. As you can see on this map, I know it's kind of hard to see, but all of the circles represent areas locations where data was collected using the MRCTI list through the Marine Debris Tracker. So what we found from this time frame is that the top items were cigarette butts, food wrappers, beverage bottles, foam fragments, and aluminum and tin cans. I think we thought that we would find the cigarette butts would be the top item, but it's a little bit disturbing with the beverage bottles and the aluminum tin cans, just from me being into the recycling world, that those are recoverable materials and they're found so much in our environment. So what we are doing next, what's next? So currently the University of Georgia is analyzing that data, geofencing it to determine exactly what we're finding in each of the 3 cities and in areas within the 3 cities. We already know what the common items are from the last slide, but we need to determine where the best places to target and really understand the interconnected nature of our communities. So we know that there's issues with solid waste, and we know there's issues with stormwater, and that those go hand in hand all the way throughout our whole watershed. So what we want to do next is expand the initiative, because this was a pilot project. We were learning as we went, and we all were together as a big group, and it was a fantastic pilot project because there was so much input and connection with all the partners. So we would like to expand it along the entire river to get a broader perspective on what is entering the river, and then work together with corporate partners to reduce their consumer waste and ensure higher reuse and recycling rates. There's a lot of manufacturers who have commitments. So we'd like to work with them to determine where we're finding this material and how they can better capture it and reduce. So that's the overall gist of the project. It was a fantastic pilot project, a lot of good, great people. It was the best initiative I think I've ever worked on. And again, there's that hourglass, really we really want to get that point across that all of that litter on the ground will make its way, very good chance it'll make its way through storm drains and tributaries to the Mississippi River. My information's on the screen, and you can learn more at UNEP. If you go to UNEP's webpage and then look for the Mississippi River Plastic Pollution Initiative, and there's my contact information, and I'm happy to take any questions or concerns, or if you would like any information, I'm happy to give it to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jennifer. Can everyone hear me okay? Awesome. Not only do I bring the girth to the district leadership team, I evidently bring the height as well. So my name's Kenny Closter. I'm your district governor-elect. And as you can see from this video, it was a very large effort to launch this project, and it's something that we can and we should continue on into the future. We had 6 clubs in our district that were involved with this pilot project. I'm very proud of their efforts. For clubs looking to work on the issue of plastic pollution, we have a couple of ways to get involved. The first one, sign up with the MRCTI project. Our entire district is in the Mississippi River watershed, and as Jennifer indicated, they're looking to get more groups involved in the cleanup and cataloging of the plastic by using the Marine Debris Tracker. The other is the single-use plastic recycling program that the Rotary Club of Le Sueur has discovered. By collecting 500 pounds of plastic, the Trex company will make a bench out of the recycled plastic. In the interest of reducing paper waste, we have info on these programs and other resources available on our district website. At this time, it says I have the duty this morning, but it is my honor this morning to introduce our district governor, Ed Merrick. Please rise.
Thank you. Thanks, Kenny. What a sight to behold. I haven't seen this many Rotarians in person in one place since March 14th, 2020, when we were dispatching from pets down in Rochester. And that's a time your presidents will remember fondly. They left pets that day with their ideas and their plans for the next year, went home, and immediately began reconsidering and refiguring everything. I've referred to this year many times as the year where nothing has gone as planned. RI President Holger had a better spin on it, I think. Rotary opens opportunities, indeed. My initial intention was to hold a joint conference with District 5950, our sister district, and it's something we do about every few years, and we were about due. And I grew up in that district in the Shakopee Eden Prairie Club. And we would have been meeting upstream on the East Bank at the U of M's McNamara Center. Well, the pandemic altered that. President Holgar asked that all district conferences be held virtually. I saw a day of Zoom meetings looming before us. And suddenly we had the opportunity to be part of the MRCTI plastic pollution project you just heard about from Jennifer. And as ways to interact safely started to appear, social distancing, wearing masks, being outdoors, a new path unfolded. I saw the chance to hold a conference in person. After all of the Zoom meetings this past year, I felt people would be chomping at the bit to be together in person. Plus, with the new focus area coming, it was a way to highlight what was ahead for us. So we challenged clubs to come up with an environmental project, something they could do outdoors, safely, invite in neighboring clubs, other service organizations, students, and work with governmental and non-governmental groups. And so the projects could be either large or small. Both would be important. Small efforts add up to making big change. This brings to mind being way upstream in Itasca State Park, where the Mississippi begins its journey. It's a few feet across at the beginning, but as it makes its way downstream, it's joined by other streams and rivers to become the Big Muddy, its nickname in Louisiana. In many ways, this is reminiscent of Rotary's story. As the river is made stronger and bigger by the addition of other streams and rivers, so Rotary is made stronger and bigger by the recognition that all professions add value to society. The river also passes through different landscapes and communities. In the same way, Rotary has found roots in different cultures and nations. This interdependence brings different skills, ideas, and perspectives to the fore to help create a better world. So let's take a look at this past year. The district and certainly the clubs both learned to pivot and create new ways of meeting, serving, and creating fellowship. One of those pivots was embracing technology in ways we couldn't have imagined a couple of years ago. Our online meetings have become a mainstay. One of the responsibilities of a district governor is to visit each club at least once during the year. In fact, Rotary International provides financial support to the district to underwrite the expenses the DG incurs fulfilling that very responsibility. This year we were given money to do that, but told no travel was allowed. So without those online meetings, I would not have been able to fulfill this task. But we've also discovered other benefits of meeting online. We kept in touch with our Snowbird members. We were no longer limited to our geographic area for our speakers and programs. Former youth exchange students can visit and share updates on their lives and how their experience in our communities impacted their life. And we were able to hold virtual visits with sister clubs like St. Paul and Nagasaki did last winter, and White Bear Lake has been doing it on an ongoing basis with its sister club in Jamaica. President Holgar holds the distinction of being the very first RI president to visit Rotary clubs in every time zone in one day. He did 24 hours of Rotary on the 116th anniversary of Rotary back in February. Rotary has recognized that hybrid meetings are the future. Remember those funds we weren't allowed to use for travel? Well, the district is now providing grants of up to $600 to assist clubs in obtaining the technical equipment they'll need to hold both successful hybrid meetings. If your club hasn't applied, there's still time. The deadline is June 15th. You've got 10 days. Another area we've used our technology has been a collaborative effort with our other two districts in the state, 5580 and 5950, to provide witness to the efficacy and effectiveness of vaccines based on our experience with Polio Plus. We used our MidwestRotary.org site to encourage everyone to get the COVID vaccination. And to further reach out, the three districts joined forces to place ads on air and online with Minnesota Public Radio, thereby covering the entire state, which directs the public to our website. Clubs got creative in their service projects as well. Faribault held their Strive meetings virtually. Last summer up in Lindstrom, when local businesses were hurting, the Chisago Lakes Club brought gift cards and from local businesses and restaurants and offered them in drawings for people who were shopping in town. The Rotary Club of St. Paul had volunteer ride the school buses to deliver meals to students who depended on them once the schools started to switch to distant learning. Thank you, Kenny. It's got my back already. It's terrific. Many clubs focused on working outdoors. St. Paul Sunrise helped a local nonprofit reclaim land to become a vegetable and pollinator garden. Clubs also worked with nonprofits in using pandemic safety protocols, were able to pack food, help stock food shelves, and help with drive-up food distributions. Fundraising has been another area that was challenging. Dinners with silent auctions were canceled and became very successful online auctions, I'm happy to say. The Arden Hill Shoreview Club got very creative and has offered online cooking classes. Another area of change is our support of Rotary International's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. We want to ensure that our clubs and that clubs in Rotary are welcoming to others. A number of clubs have begun working on this earnestly. notably the White Bear Lake Club and the South Metro Networking Rotaract Club. The district has formed a DEI team that will support the work clubs are doing by providing resources and ideas. We'll be offering a training this fall, district-wide, so watch your emails for further information on that. But now let's turn back to the new focus area, the environment. In February, as we mentioned, as Kenny mentioned, we challenged clubs to plan and implement an environmental project during the months of April or May to launch the new focus ideas. 26 clubs accepted the challenge, which resulted in an invigorating work. Thank you, Dick Houston. Cleaner parks and roadways, beautiful rain and pollinator gardens, and a whole lot of fun. Now it's time to recognize those efforts. So let's take a look.
The first award we are presenting is the Citizen Scientist Award. This goes to the 6 clubs that took part in the MRCTI Plastic Pollution Pilot Program. Anoka, Hastings area, St. Paul Sunrise, South St. Paul Inver Grove Heights, and West St. Paul Mendota Heights. As we heard earlier, this pilot program was designed to provide scientists, policymakers, and citizens clear documentation of the problem and help inform what can be done about it. These clubs all got involved and engaged others in the community as well. For example, Anoka recruited scouts from Troop 609 and students from Anoka Ramsey Community College and Champlain Park High School to assist in the collection of data and litter. Similarly, St. Paul Sunrise had 25 students from Highland Park High School along with the Midway Lions Club to help them on their section of the river. The 6 clubs covered areas from Anoka down to Hastings, Minnesota. As you heard Jennifer Wendt from MRCTI explain earlier, there was a total of 48,422 pieces collected and cataloged in this effort between the 3 cities involved in the pilot project: Baton Rouge, St. Louis, and St. Paul. The 6 clubs and their volunteers were responsible for 5,118 of the 48,422 items. This represents a little over 10% of the total collected. That is a tremendous accomplishment. This is a project that can be ongoing. The MRCTI and University of Georgia is interested in continuing to collect information, not only in the pilot area, but across the watershed that Jennifer showed on the map. So if clubs are looking for a way to get involved, this is a great opportunity to do river cleanups in your area and support the collection of information that will help to reduce the problem of plastic pollution. Congratulations and thank you to the Rotary Clubs of Anoka, Hastings area, St. Paul Sunrise, South St. Paul Inver Grove Heights, and West St. Paul Mendota Heights. The second award is the Park Patrol Award and goes to 4 different clubs for their efforts. The Rotary Club of Faribault's Crocker Creek Restoration Project is a resurrection of work that began 17 years ago when the area was planted with native grasses and flowers. Unfortunately, it was not sustained and the area has been invaded by brush and weeds and trees. This portion of Crocker Creek is nearly a half-mile long, with steep banks that need cleaning on both sides. A small portion has been worked on by one individual over the past few years, and as a result, last year, 12 native flowers were identified, along with some native grasses. The Faribault Rotary's project consisted of removing and cutting down all of the invasive species. This fall, the fire department will do a controlled burn to spur the growth of the native plants, which rely on occasional burns to flourish. The Blaine Ham Lake Club did a couple of projects involving park cleanups. One was done on March 27th at Coon Creek, which included 19 volunteers. Then, on May 8th, these Rotarians worked with a local scout group and volunteers with the Anoka Conservation District. With the guidance of Don Deering, with the Coon Creek Watershed District, Rebecca Haug with the City of Blaine, and master naturalist Christine Crawford, they collected 21 bags of garlic mustard. Garlic mustard is a plant species brought over from Europe that, like many invasive species, has no natural enemies and tends to crowd out the local plants. The North St. Paul Maplewood Oakdale Club got together on the 22nd of May to clean up and maintain Rotary Park, which is a nice rest stop located along the Gateway Regional Trail. Along with all the ecological benefits of a rain garden, this garden provides a variety of plants to view and enjoy during a bike ride along the Gateway. The Prior Lake Club supports the Rotary Gateway Park, which is the gateway to Prior Lake's signature lakefront park, home of Prior Lake's Rotary Lakefront Music Festival. The club performs cleanups and last fall planted a pollinator garden. They are also adding a display describing the plants that can be found in the park. On May 23rd, they unveiled a peace pole at a civic dedication in the park. In addition to their park patrol activities, they will also be doing their semi-annual highway cleanup of 2 local stretches of highway in the Prior Lake area. One is done by the Prior Lake Rotary, and the other is done along with members of their Strive program and students from the Bridges Area Learning Center. Congratulations and thank you to the Rotary Clubs of Faribault, Blaneham Lake, North St. Paul, Maplewood, Oakdale, and Prior Lake. 4 clubs weren't afraid to get down and dirty to earn the Road Warrior Award, aka Don't Forget Your Gloves, This Is Filthy Award. On Earth Day, the Chisago Lakes Rotary Club brought together the Chisago County Sheriff's Department, the Lindstrom Police Department, and local businesses in a highway cleanup. They gathered on Highway 8, which runs through the center of town, and made their presence known. They also gathered a pickup truck's worth of trash. The South Metro Network Rotaractors do a similar annual highway cleanup of Highway 3 in Eagan. Take a look at this video. The trash never had a chance. The Forest Lake Club partnered with the Forest Lake, Minnesota Good Samaritans in a Cleanest City contest. The Forest Lake group competed with the city of Salisbury in Maryland to see who could produce the most trash from the roads. The Maryland group collected 176 bags. The Forest Lake group came up with 187 bags by cleaning a long stretch of Highway 61. The LeSueur Club removed trash in the ditches on the north entrance to LeSueur. The crew of 14 included Rotarians and students from the LeSueur High School National Honor Society and Target students. The success of the project was evident by the 4 cubic yard dumpster which overflowed with trash bags and miscellaneous large items laid next to the dumpster. Let's take a look at the video they produced, which makes all that hard work look like a lot of fun. To being road warriors, the LeSueur Club worked on their semi-annual cleanup of American Legion Park in LeSueur. Congratulations and thank you to the Chisago Lakes, Forest Lake, South Metro Networking Rotaractors, and the LeSueur Clubs. We all know how crucial the process of pollination is to our planet. These next 2 clubs are supporting pollinator habitats and have earned the Bee's Knees Award. The White Bear Lake Club has a long-standing commitment to Rotary Park. In the past, they funded and helped build log structures, including restrooms and a beautiful park pavilion, as well as a boardwalk that crosses through the wetland area. On April 30th, Rotary volunteers planted pollinator-friendly plants around the Rotary Nature Preserve at Birch Lake. This is the first of 3 planned project phases that includes woodland pollinator plants and a rain garden. Stillwater Sunrise Rotary adopted the pollinator garden at Ramsey Park in Stillwater. They partnered with the Pollinator Friendly Alliance, which planted the garden several years ago. Stillwater Sunrise Rotary took over the management and upkeep this year. They installed cedar edging around its perimeter and have had several work days to remove grass and weeds and then added plants to fill in the gaps. 16 Rotarians have already worked on the garden, and they have a team of volunteers ready to continue maintaining the garden all summer. Stillwater Sunrise Rotary embraces this fantastic opportunity to enhance pollinator habitats and socialize safely in the sun. Congratulations and thank you to the White Bear Lake and Stillwater Sunrise Rotary Clubs. The Raising Sprouts Award is all about vegetables, kids, and community. The first group in this category is a collaboration between the Arden Hills Shoreview Roseville clubs. They call it a Cycle of Life project. These Rotarians are partnering with the Shoreview YMCA to care for the Y's community vegetable gardens. This is a hands-on project with an educational component. The Rotary members will be actively engaged through planting seed starters, volunteering for work in the garden from May through September, giving presentations at Rotary meetings when education is offered, and teaching YMCA children about the cycle of life and how to make a food item. Salsa, for example. The produce will be shared throughout the YMCA and for all those who in need in the Roseville area. The second Raising Sprout Award goes to the Lakeville Club. These Rotarians partnered with the Open Pantry Food Shelf in Dakota County and residents of the Queen Anne Mobile Park. Together, they built 10 garden beds measuring 4 feet by 8 feet and filled them all with compost. The project will allow residents and their children to grow their own fresh vegetables. Congratulations, and thank you to the Arden Hills, Shoreview, Roseville, and Lakeville clubs. The coolest award is for one of the most unique projects. It goes to North St. Paul Maplewood Oakdale Club. These Rotarians, along with Boy Scout Troop 89, tromped all around, on the ice, in the cold, to do their annual cleanup of White Bear Lake before the ice melted. They removed all the debris and trash left on the lake through the winter ice fishing season to prevent it from sinking to the bottom. When District Governor Ed learned about this project, he thought it was pretty cool. Congratulations and thank you, North St. Paul, Maplewood, Oakdale. It Takes a Village to Raise a Forest Award is shared by 3 clubs: Greater Rochester, Rochester Risers, and the Rotary Club of Rochester. The 3 Rochester Rotary Clubs partnered with the Parks and Recreation Department to host the 4th annual tree planting event. In the last 3 years combined, they planted 1,000 trees. This year, they made an even bigger event by offering 3 time slots hosted by each of the different clubs. The goal was to involve more of the community, plus they planted 1,021 trees in one day. They can now proudly say that Rotary has planted 2,021 trees in Rochester by 2021. 21 of the trees were planted in honor of someone or something. It was a 21 tree salute. Their community and youth engagement was outstanding, with following groups participating: students and Strive students from John Marshall, Century, Mayo, and Lord's High School, and Quarry Hill Nature Center. Congratulations and thank you to all 3 Rochester clubs. This Out and About award goes to the 3 clubs who are not with us today. Instead, they are out and about practicing service above self. The Austin Rotary Club is cleaning their Rotary Park and the riverbank which runs nearby. The Greater Mankato Echo Satellite Club is implementing their Waterways Community Project today. The Grantsburg Rotary Club is planting a tree in the Riverside Cemetery in Grantsburg, Wisconsin, in memory of Rotarian Merlin Johnson. Thanks goes to these 3 clubs for participating in the day with their acts of service. This final award, the Pioneer Award, goes to a club that has blazed a trail in our district by going beyond the traditional types of environmental projects to initiate one that envisions the future. On the evening of August 16, 2018, the club held a public event, announced the formation of the Rotary Climate Action Team. The operative word in this title is action, and boy have they been busy. They've been providing programs for other clubs on the science behind climate change, along with ideas for how clubs can get involved. They also funded not 1, but 2 charging stations for electric vehicles in conjunction with their city. This award is given to the Rotary Club of Northfield. Let's hear more about their project.
DG Ed here in beautiful Northfield, and another beautiful day. Seems every time I come to a town, it just get gorgeous weather. I'm here with Lee Dilley, who's a member of the Northfield Club and a member of the Rotary Climate Action Team, which came about in about 2018. I remember in August, Sue and I came down for that along with District Governor at the time, Mike Becker, and learned about this new exciting group that was being formed in the Northfield Club to address issues around climate change. One of the programs that the team came up with, one of the projects they did, was a electric vehicle charging station, and Lee's here. It's going to demonstrate a little bit about how that works. So Lee, take it away.
Okay, thank you, Ed, for introducing that. Sue, I'm going to have you come around here with your camera and shoot in this direction so you can see this. This is the charging station that our Rotary Climate Action Team paid for with the City of Northfield, our first project. And I'll just show you how a charge point charging station works with our electric car here. I'm going to take my card that's all put together and put it across there. Now it's released the charger, and I've opened up the charging point on the car here, and just plug it in like that. So this is how, when you're on the road and you want to charge up your car, you can do that. And when we started our Rotary Climate Action Team, we wanted to do some action, and we had some funds that we raised, and so we, as I say, partnered with our city, and they had the infrastructure to put in this simple charging station, and we felt like the electrification of transportation was an important issue. And so the next year we also financed another one with our city on another spot that they determined and worked well for their infrastructure. And in the future, we're looking at regenerative agriculture as projects locally in the climate action area that we would finance. So we have a local regenerative agricultural leader, Reginaldo, who is actually from Guatemala originally, and he's a brilliant agriculturalist, and he has a poultry-centered agriculture. Regenerative agriculture means that you're actually increasing the soil health by pulling greenhouse gases down through plants and animals appropriately without tillage of the soil, and bringing lots of carbon to enhance the soil's fertility in a regenerative upcycle rather than the degenerative down cycle that we tend to be in all the tillage agriculture.
Getting things back into a more natural balance.
Yeah, and enhancing the natural balance with human ingenuity, and one of the positive, beneficial to all things that Rotary can do in the world to draw down greenhouse gases and the greenhouse conditions. Yeah.
Thank you, Lee. This is, Northfield had really kind of been leading the charge here in the district in terms of working on climate issues and that. And since we're celebrating with the Conference of Clubs this year, the environment, our new focus area, I thought it was kind of appropriate to spend some time down here. You haven't had a real project as we've kind of charged clubs to do, but you've been doing so much already, and this is a prime example of what the Rotary Club in Northfield has done and what's possible for other clubs in our district to do.
Congratulations and thank you, Northfield Rotary, for your leadership in this area. And congratulations to all our award winners. Many thanks to all the District 5960 club members who participated in this year's Conference of Clubs initiative to welcome in Rotary International's 7th area of focus, the environment.
Congratulations to all of the clubs that participated and to those participating today out there. If you're one of the 26 clubs, you can pick up your award certificate after the program at the check-in desk with Kathy Hewitt. I now would like to ask our District Rotary Foundation team leader, past District Governor Kyle Haugen, to come forward for a special presentation.
Thanks, Ed. Over the past 2 years, you've heard me talk about what we do as Rotarians, and that's create positive peace. Positive peace is the fulfillment of all needs to create a fair and just society. And when we look at all the things we do as Rotarians, it can be summarized that we create positive peace in our neighborhoods and throughout the world. And the Rotary Foundation is what helps us maximize our efforts. We have a strong history of participation with the Rotary Foundation in our district through the funds we collectively contribute to the foundation and the projects we implement that were funded because of those grants from the foundation. Our strong history didn't happen by accident. It's because we have great people that believe strongly in making a difference or creating positive peace, and their involvement with the Rotary Foundation has helped us get to where we are today. It's my honor to recognize two individuals today with awards from Rotary International and the Rotary Foundation for their efforts in making the world a better place. Our first recipient could not join us today, but we announced this award yesterday during our Global Grants presentation meeting so he could find out about it, but also wanted to acknowledge him here today. The Rotary Foundation honors Rotarians or Rotaractors who have been actively involved in service related to the Rotary Foundation with the Rotary Foundation's Citation for Meritorious Service. I'd like to read from our nomination form for this year's citation recipient. Jim Hunt has walked the walk as a champion of the Rotary Foundation. In 2009, Jim was team leader of a group study exchange to India. Upon returning, he and his team enacted 2 grants, drilling 177 wells in District 3150 that provided fresh drinking water to over 45,000 people. At that time, he joined the District 5960 grants team and has continued to serve as a mentor to many projects since, while acting as the main contact for other grants. Additionally, he served as the Group Study Exchange Vocational Training Team Chair between 2009 and 2013, during which time he coordinated 3 inbound Group Study Exchange and 2 inbound Vocational Training teams. As much as he is a doer, he is also a leader, capping with his role as district governor in 2016-17, where he used his role to encourage Rotary Foundation giving and grant actions. Jim is a soft-spoken leader, but when he speaks, people listen and, most importantly, act. This year, Jim has become our District International Service Chair, continuing his service and impact. Jim's actions and leadership have helped build our district's foundation structure to what it is today, and please help me congratulate and say thank you to Jim Hunt from the White Bear Lake Rotary Club for his ongoing and outstanding service to the Rotary Foundation. Our second recipient is here today, because there was actually supposed to be 3, but the other one's not here either, so we'll do that one later. The second award I'd like to present today is Rotary's Avenues of Service Award, which honors a Rotarian or Rotaractor who participates in service activities in one of 5 avenues of service: club, vocational, community, international, and youth service. We have not utilized this award in our district in the past, but felt it was very appropriate for the outstanding efforts in community service by one of our members this year. I'd like to read his nomination that was submitted to Rotary International. The onset of COVID-19 was putting a strain on resources around the world. Kent Peterson saw the opportunity to make a difference in the community. Kent stepped up and took the lead in creating the Suburban Ramsey Emergency Coalition. This collaborative partnership brought together service organizations, governmental and non-governmental entities to address COVID-19 emergency needs related to food, housing, and mental health. Ken worked to develop a comprehensive list of needs that enlisted 13 service clubs, including Lions, Kiwanis, Optimus, and Rotary, and 2 community foundations to collaborate to raise funds to meet a variety of needs. They initially set a goal of raising $150,000 by the end of 2020. They exceeded that goal and have awarded $158,670 into area organizations. As the pandemic and needs have continued into 2021, Kent has led the charge to set a new goal of an additional $100,000 this year and to be in the community as long as our community needs us. Please welcome and help me congratulate Arden Hills Shoreview Rotarian Kent Peterson with Rotary International's Avenues of Service Award for Community Service. Kent, you got to get up from your chair. I'll let you do that one. You can give it to him. Just so everybody else can see it, it's the Rotary Avenues of Service Award. Rotary International recognizes with deep appreciation for outstanding efforts in community service, Kent Peterson, and it's signed by District Governor Ed. So.
I think I should mention the other two Rotary clubs that are in our coalition. And Dave Cray, who is president of the Roseville Rotary Club, is here today. Is anybody from New Brighton, Moundsview? Well, there are 3 Rotary clubs among the 15 organizations. And Dave, I remember, and I wasn't asked to give a speak, but I remember what Dave said when I called him, because this was the condition we were in March of 2020. And at that time, Dave said, we're in, we want to do what we can. We don't know what money we can raise because all of our money fundraising is gone. But collectively, this is the lesson, collectively, you get a group together and you find ways to make money through creative new ways. So thanks, Dave. Thanks to New Brighton, Moundsview, and thanks to you all for the award.
All right, I'm going to skip where that was, and then just please join me in giving Jim and Kent one more round of applause as a way of thanking them for doing good in the world. And one other thing, remember there's about 4 weeks left in the Rotary year, so if you haven't given to the Rotary Foundation yet this year, please do so, because obviously that's the money that we can use to make the most impact in doing good in the world. And if you have given, please encourage people within your club to give as much as they can as well, because certainly the needs are only increasing, the requests from clubs are only increasing, and with more money, we can make more impact and create more positive peace. So thank you for all you do, and thanks for your ongoing support of the Rotary Foundation. You can have it.
Thank you, Kyle, and congratulations and a heartfelt thank you to Jim Hunt and Kent Peterson for their service. Before we wrap up, we want to remind you of some events still coming up this month. The District Awards Recognition Happy Hour will be on Wednesday, June 30th at 4 p.m., where we will celebrate the achievements of our clubs that have made in this challenging year. Ed, I'll turn it over to you. I'm going to put this here. Turn it over to you.
Sure, let me wrestle with it. Also, I love the wind. Also, I want to personally invite each of you to join Sue and me in attending the District Governor installation in Mankato on Friday, June 25th at the Blue Boat Restaurant, brand new restaurant down there in Mankato. Should be a lot of fun, and it'll be our second time as a district. We'll get to see each other twice in 1 month. Amen to that. Starting at 6 p.m. It'll be a fun time. We get to usher in the new Rotary year, the new focus area, and our new District Governor, Kenny Closter. You know, there's a lot of moving parts in a district, and even more when it comes to the District Conference of Clubs. So I want to say a few quick thank yous. First to President Lyndon Pfeiffer and the Rotary Club of Hastings area for their support and hospitality today. Thanks to Mike Sawick, President-elect of Hastings, for helping us out. The American Legion Post 47 for their hospitality. They were providing the iced tea for us. The Lyle Russell Veterans of Foreign Wars Color and Honor Guard. Acting Mayor Brox and the City of Hastings. Christy Bars from the Director of Tourism with Hastings. They were just fantastic working with us. To past RI President Ian Risley and Jennifer Wendt of the MRCTI. Thanks also Prior Lake for lending Harry Elger for us for his voice talents on the awards presentation. Thanks to the Green Valley Nursery and Garden Center for the pollinator seed packets. Do plant those. The bees and the butterflies are depending on all of you. Okay. Thanks also to the Hastings Environmental Protectors for the walking tours here along the lake. I want to say a special thank you to Galen Bender of the Roseville Club. I'm smiling for his photography efforts here. Lynn's production crew who made this possible and be able to share it on YouTube and our Facebook page, Mike Bremer and Kurt Ratke at Hastings Community Television, and also Derek Fortness with EMI Audio for the incredible screen and the tech support. Thank you to Entourage for their entertaining music. They'll be back here shortly. And I want to express my sincere thanks to the Conference of Clubs team. Past District Governor Kathy Smith, Dave Dominic, Lynn Montgomery, Kathy Hewitt, Mike Slowick, Lyndon Pfeiffer, and my best friend Sue Merrick for performing miracles to make today a reality. Thanks to all of you for coming out today for this COVID-inspired Conference of Clubs. And I now invite you to explore and enjoy Hastings with a walking tour, grab lunch, grab some beverages, have fun, and thank you all for being here, and we'll see you in Mankato on the 25th. And we're going to quick try the four-way test again because I was really proud of what they did.
I'm Rick Wilson, a member of the Rotary Club of River Falls. The Rotary four-way test of the things we think, say, or do.
Shamar Duerchi, part of South Metro Networking Rotaract. Number 1, is it the truth?
Good morning. I'm David Brown, president of the Rotary Club of Le Sueur. Number 2, is it fair to all concerned?
I am Noah Wiedenfeld, a member of the Rotary Club of New Richmond. Number 3, will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Hi, I'm Nicole Rasmussen, and I am the president for the Elk River Rotary Club. Number 4, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Hi, my name is Jingle Mann. I'm a current honorary member of the Rotary Clubs of Arden Hills Shoreview and Roseville Rotary. The 5th four-way test is it fun?
So thanks again, everyone, for being here. Thanks to the group here. Sorry it didn't work earlier, but we got it in. So thanks, everybody. Have a great day.